Yo, welcome back, everybody. This is the Week 8 DMR preview show. As per usual, we got Richie here.
How you know?
After a couple of week hiatus, we got Dell back.
Yeah, good to be back. It's pretty busy. So I'm back.
Yay.
So, good thing we had you back so we can actually have somebody to talk about who actually won on this podcast this week. So it's good that have you back.
Back just in time.
Yeah. So as per usual, I think he's all know had the rundown of the stage. We'll quickly look over the waivers of the past week, our own little small reviews on the week on by, and then just jump straight into the previews for the week ahead. So, but I believe, Richie, you have some. The boys actually accused of us not getting actual breaking news, but at least we don't drop a breaking news jingle for news that everybody already knows. It's just massage Michael's ego with making that drop every week. So, but I believe we have some breaking news, Richie. So, would you like to drop it for us?
Yes. So I'm the only one that knows. Well, obviously me and the other person involved know this. You boys haven't heard this yet.
No.
So you said you have a theory of who you think it might be.
I have an idea.
All right. You tell me, and then I'll tell you how close you are.
Would it involve one Tom Brady? No.
It does.
I had a feeling. All right, drop it on us.
So myself and Mr. Mark Biddle for doing a trade.
Oh.
I'm getting Big Ben and Mike Davis for Tom Brady.
Okay. Nice cover. Nice cover for CMC. Nice little cover
that's it.
from Mahomes as well.
He's definitely not playing this week either. So, well, not definitely, but the chances of him playing this week are negligible.
Yeah.
So Mike Davis is going to have a good week, hopefully. Falcons have been letting a good bit in with running backs. So I'd like to see him have a nice big week.
Yeah.
Big Ben's looked good this season as well.
He's had a couple of bad games, but like it's Big Ben, he's going to have a couple of bad games, he'll have a couple of big games. I'm literally just looking for someone that can cover Mahomes by week. That's all Brady was there for, and I was like, I'll trade him if I get it. Like, he sat on my bench doing nothing other than disappoint me when he had a good week.
Yeah, I really wanted Carson Wentz this week, but I ended up with Jimmy Garoppolo.
It's not bad.
I mean, Carson Wentz against Dallas would have been better.
Who the 49ers playing? Obviously, a nice little segue into the waiver wires for this week gone by. So
smooth. But to answer your question, I don't know. It looks like a decent matchup, though.
I should know. I picked up a 49ers player. Who are they playing this week?
Seahawks, yeah. So.
Oh, yeah, that should be Seahawks just fucking hemorrhaging points on the defense.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm hoping.
But obviously, yeah, I was very surprised. It was 19 waivers processed on Wednesday morning. I thought it would be a quiet week this week, but obviously not.
No, I'm doing a full team rebuild this week. I'm cutting all the dead weight, and I'm trying to get as many. Who did I trade? John for again? I got Cole Beasley and got rid of Mike Evans. Mike Evans has been far too unpredictable. He's had a couple of bad weeks, and it's not great. His ceiling is high, but his floor is.
Yeah, when he has a bad week, it's atrocious.
Yeah, and Cole Beasley has had a great season. He's consistently between 10 to 12 points a week. Can't argue with that. I'll take that once a week rather than possibly 1.5, possibly 20. Who knows? So he's after coming in. Corey Davis, he's coming in. I was going to pick up Gronk, but fucking Connor got him.
I figured that would hurt you, all right.
Yeah. Scott Miller, he's in, so I'm dropping one Tampa Bay receiver for another.
Yeah, Sky Miller probably could play with
as well.
Goblin being out again. Man, I don't think he's played 2 games in a row this year for me.
Yeah,
it's a shame,
he's just been banged up all year. But so is Mike Evans. Mike Evans he hasn't been injured enough to take out of playing a game, but he hasn't been healthy enough to play as Mike Evans.
I think he's playing hurt. I would say. like if I don't know if Tampa Bay weren't in like a win now mode, which I think they are, obviously with Tom Brady being age he is in the 2-year contract, I would think they would look to move him on. But I think because they're in a Super Bowl window, I think they'll hold on to him for this year anyway.
Yeah.
Especially with them signing Antonio Brown as well.
Yeah, that's a weird one. I figure I'll probably one good week out of Scott Miller before Antonio Brown comes in, takes up all those targets.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't think there's anything that really
I mean,
stood out from the waivers.
you're assuming Antonio Brown doesn't walk into the dressing room and just fuck everything up from minute one, which is another possibility.
That is a
So,
very strong possibility. All right.
Yeah, to be fair.
all right. Well, waiver wire this week. I went for Carson Wentz, missed out. I went to try and pick Brandon Ayuk because dropping him was a mistake. Missed out. Tried Jermichael Hasty, missed out. Tried for Corey Davis, I think. Eventually got Rashard Higgins. So I'm hoping with OBJ getting completely fucked and Landry possibly having a knock that I might get a week or two out of him.
That's a solid pickup. I thought about putting a request in for him, but I didn't think I was going to get him. So obviously, looking at it, I prioritised running backs. Just hoovered them all up this week on the waivers, as many as I could get. I'm going to have to drop one at some stage. I'm going to have to pick up a kicker at some stage, but for now, I'm just going to hold on to them and see. See if I can
Bringing
get
in Darren Fells last week on the waiver wire didn't exactly pay off for me. Not even a target. I don't even know if he got to the game, to be perfectly honest. He could have been stuck in traffic because he didn't even get a target. So, yeah, he's gone. He's gone for Jimmy Garoppolo. That was an easy decision.
I'm sure you got Mark Andrews back now, so barring injury, you're going to be starting him every week now. So that's the tight end position. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
Rob picked up Wayne Gallman, who looked like he was doing really, really well last week.
Yeah, I don't think he has any play this week. Again, he was a guy I looked at. But he's playing the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers are just savage against the run, as I find that to my detriment. But yeah, anything else you guys want to talk about, or we just jump into the recap week on by?
No, it's about it. Harrison Butker got a new home in the
got a new job, yeah.
Making his way around the league.
So,
can pass around like a split at a fucking Cypress Hill concert.
You might hope that he gets his infamous weekly PAT against you this week, though. It would be just. So we'll just quickly jump into week gone by. Obviously, it was a pretty fucking crazy week again with some very tight matchups. But we'll start off with a happy note and let I'll take the floor here with his matchup against Miguel.
Yeah, Matt Ryan didn't have the week this week that he had last week, thank God. All across the board, like I was worried about CEH at the start. He got a lot of carries early on in the touchdown. I thought, fuck, Le'Veon Bell's not going to affect him in any way, shape, or form in this game. But then not a whole pile happened after that from him. So that was a positive. I think he could have done an awful lot more if they used him more later on in the game. Kareem Hunt, Julio Jones they did all right. DJ Sharp didn't do well for him. All in all, it was pretty comfortable. Gibson stepped up, which I was hoping for, and he did. Singletary tried his best to screw me again. He's just non-existent now. You know, a flex play at best, but I had to put him in. Nuke played through an injury. I was sweating with Nuke. I was thinking I'm going to have to put in Adam Humphries here. So I just thought I gotta leave him in, and played through injury, 103 yards, a touchdown, but for a fumble he would have got more than 15 points. He's a beast of a lad. Watson up at nearly 30 points again. He's just really hit form the last 3 or 4 weeks. Allen Robinson.
O'Brien got the sack. He's started playing a lot better. I don't think there's too much of a coincidence in that.
Yeah. He wasn't used much I think he had 1 target in the receiving game, mostly used on the ground, which seems to suit him. So hopefully he'll be looking to do that. Maybe be one from here on out. Alan Robinson took a bit of a crack to the skull, and he's in the concussion protocol, so he might not make this week. He only got 4 receptions, 70 yards on 4 targets, 4 receptions. Was looking good. Darren Fells just didn't turn up. Didn't see him. Williams with Jones being out looked good, and hopefully maybe another week of Aaron Jones to just make sure he's all right.
I don't know. I was going to bring it up later on. Like he got a sleeper alert saying he still hasn't started coming back to practice yet. So you never know.
Yeah, it's a dodgy old injury that, and can take a while. And if you rush him back too soon, you might end up missing more time. And you know how cautious the Packers are.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully Williams will maintain. Carlson got nearly 10 points. Happy days. And the Browns defense, I thought the Browns defense was going to do a lot worse than that 10 points. So
considering he had 34 points scored against them, 10 points is a good score.
Yeah, it's I was very surprised with that. So all in all, nobody really stood out for Michael. Did you get anybody to break 20 points? No. You had T. Higgins on the bench, which would have made a little bit of a difference, and that's about it. It was a comfortable win, and I was missing Mike Andrews, I was missing Dalvin Cook, and I had comfortably won before Robinson took the field. So a successful week.
Easy win for you. Keep Michael quiet for a week or two anyway, at least.
No.
No. Wait. I don't know. Which do you want to touch on first, Richie? My narrow defeat or your heavy defeat to Connor? Don't think either of us want to talk too much about this.
No, not really. For my match, it was just a combination of things. Patrick Mahomes didn't score more points because the Chiefs were beating them so bad. They took him off. Like, we'll keep you healthy. We'll put someone else on.
Mm-hmm.
Can't have him getting a chill out there in the snow.
Yeah, your defense was just keeping. It was ironic. Your defense was keeping him off the field for a vast majority of that game because he just kept on turning over the Broncos.
Yeah. In fairness,
you scored
those, and I'd be happy enough to get like 28 points from a quarterback and 14 points.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
A reasonable trade-off.
Cody Parkey, what a wanker! The last kick of the game, and he missed it, and it dropped him 5 points. It's like, mother fuck. If he hadn't missed that kick and I played Tom Brady, I would have been golden.
Actually, I was listening to the boys earlier on, and Connor said if you had played Tom Brady instead of Patrick Mahomes, you would have won by 0.8 of a point.
Jesus Christ.
That's what Connor's stat.
I'd rather not know that.
Richie, I've just panned down and saw Tom Brady's points.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry for you. 44.86 points in bench.
That's the second time he's done it this season as well. That's what I was like.
369 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 carry, 1 yard, 1 touchdown.
He'd be sneak.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Connor seemed like he was just pretty much carried by his running backs and Drew Brees. Like, they got all his points. Like 80 points. Nearly 80 points out of his 120. So that's like 75% of it, nearly 3/4 of his points. So.
You said last week you had a plan for running back. How'd that pan out?
Not very well. So I was planning on picking up, who was it?
Joshua Kelly, I think.
I think it was Joshua. It wouldn't have made a difference because he might have a good week, and then I was like, Jeremy Nichols, he might have a good week because he had a good week before that because of someone else being injured. It's like, maybe. No, didn't happen.
Especially against the Steelers, it was a very risky play.
Yeah. And then Adrian Peterson, DeAndre Swift just getting all the touches. There's nothing coming in from that.
Yeah. Swift's really taking off.
He's also on the chopping block. Mike Evans he's had a couple of bad games. I don't know if it's Tom Brady doesn't like him or if it's that he's struggling with an injury. DJ Moore showed the fuck up. One of the only people to do it. Jared Cook did all right. He got a touchdown and a few yards. Tanyan, don't know what happened to him. He blew up for a little bit and then went straight back down.
I think that was no coincidence that he was getting a lot more looks when Devontae Adams was out injured. When Devontae Adams is back, that's his offense.
Yeah. And thankfully, the only thing that I really had on my bench was Tom Brady. Everything else was either a bye week or not that much. For Connor, again, he just consistently did that little bit better. And then, as you said, his running backs and his quarterback just blew up, and they got points.
50 points from his running backs.
Jesus Christ.
But Todd Gurley trade's looking better by the week.
Yeah, he's still definitely gotten the turbines over. Right, we're on a real time here. Peek behind the curtains. We're trying to get this done out now before 8 o'clock, so we're going to motor on here a bit. And quickly, like I said, I don't want to talk about this too much because it still hurts me and John. Absolute roller coaster of a game. Like, there was so many twists and turns in it. Like, John had 2 touchdowns all back on his players early. I had my missed PAT from Brandon McManus that would have won it for me. And Boston Scott, which, to be honest, if he wasn't playing on Thursday night, I was very close to taking out Josh Jacobs because I knew how good the Bucs defense was. But if the Eagles had been playing on Sunday instead of Thursday, I probably would have talked myself out of it. But because they played on the Thursday, I ended up starting with Jacobs. And obviously, when in the Sunday night as well, I thought I was well beat. And then I kind of wish Tyler Lockett didn't have that miracle game because it just gave me false hope, only for it to be taken away from me with 10 minutes to go in the Bears game when they got a defensive touchdown. It was,
it's a rough one, all right. But Tyler Lockett putting up 42 points is gotta be encouraging. Justin Herbert, 45 points, nearly 46. An outstanding game.
No.
Just an outstanding game.
He is just absolutely fucking no fear, just slinging it around every game.
Yeah, he's a real deal. Really is. Zeke had a nightmare, which it's starting to become a little bit habitual. It's like that's 3.5 points against Arizona, 7.1. I mean, since Dak's gone now, he's had 10.6 points in 2 games.
Yeah, John's got to be a bit worried about that.
He does got to be. Scary Terry doing well from. He got the better of that trade. Considering Devin Singletary does nothing ever.
Another thing as well. Philip Lindsay was absolutely popping off in the game against Kansas City, and then he went out with concussed. He had 9 carries. He was nearly running a 9-yard clip.
It's going to be difficult to clear the concussion protocol for the game at the weekend. Usually it's 5 days, but that's if every day progresses well. But if one day it doesn't, then, say if you get to stage 2, then you might be on stage 2 for 2 days or 3 days, and then you move on. So it could extend it to beyond the weekend. So it's hard to know.
That's why I picked up all those running backs. I got 8 of them now. These choices. Obviously, fair play to John. He came out on top in the end. It was, like I said, it was a roller coaster back and forth the whole time. So,
both your teams outscored predictions by 10 points as well. That doesn't usually happen. So, a hell of a game as well to keep an eye on. It was exciting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Way more exciting than your game, Richie.
Yep. Richie's losing again. No, well, fair enough.
Right there with you, Richie. Right, we'll quickly jump into another close matchup that went right to the end of the wire. I got the 2 girls next year, so obviously this again came down to a defense on Monday night, and Shauna's showed hook up. Lucky that you, and I guess Nick Foles, 2 interceptions, 4 sacks.
She made an audacious attempt to get Jamal Williams off me, and I said, no, I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna hold on to him. Luckily enough, I did. But it was worth a try. It was a very brave last minute move. Yeah. But AJ Dillon came in instead and got 1 point for us, so that didn't help. But Keenan Allen, played really well. He's looking good this season. Might not be in a whole lot of points, but
Yeah, he's been very solid for like where she drafted him, which could have been like six, 7 round.
yeah.
G's been very solid for her as well. Nice
Logan
pickup
Thomas,
at tight end and streaming tight end for the week. 13 points from Logan Thomas.
Yeah, it was a good call. 4 receptions out of 4 targets for 60 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
You can't really ask much more out of a tight end than that.
Mike Williams with a goose egg.
Oh yeah.
1 for 4. Jeez.
Oh yeah, and Rams defense at the end got a 17 points.
Yeah.
That's got the job done.
So she might be with Aaron Jones this week again. Without Aaron Jones, so she could be in trouble. But yeah, pretty tight one.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think Hannah has to worry too much, really. Well, Chris Carson got injured, so might leave her a bit shorter running back.
Yeah.
Only powered Jonathan Taylor off play.
Yeah, it was his fault. Yeah, he was held out of practice today as well.
Anyway, anything else anybody wants to talk about?
no, I think we move on to the next one.
Yeah.
I have got John Connors and Barry, so obviously this is another clash of the 2 number 1 teams in the division, so it was a pretty close match here by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray absolutely popping off, I think, 1 up for Barry. 41 points again.
Yeah.
Jesus, some fucking very high scores of quarterback this week. On by
14 carries for 67 yards and a touchdown.
that's Melvin
He's just
Gordon
taking
numbers.
Kenyon Drake's job off him. Kenyon Drake got injured, and it just doesn't matter to him. He'll just run him instead of him. Can't catch him. This guy's hanging off. He's just gone.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
But yeah, just watching him running around on the field, it's just he just looks so much faster than everybody else. Oh yeah, Monte Adams, Kyler Murray clearly carried Barry to this win this week. Scored over half the points. Kim Metcalf, very disappointing game from him, but I think he was pretty much covered by Paddy P the whole game, so that's understandable.
Bill,
yeah,
right for Gunners.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you play the Jets. Every defense has a good week against the Jets.
That is fair. I'm considering playing the Chiefs defense this week instead of the Ravens. Ravens are playing the Steelers. Chiefs are only.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad shout because the Jets are just awful team.
Yeah, lost of Odell Beckham after trading from his bit of a signal for Larry.
He also got rid of Cam Newton.
He had one really good game in 2 seasons. 35 points was about the best I've seen him do since he left New York. So I don't know. I don't know about Odell Beckham. I'm not an Odell Beckham truther at the minute. He's got a lot of talent, but he's completely wasted there.
Yeah, well, he's out for the season now, so
yeah.
We'll never know. And then I think last but not least, we got probably the roughest, another close one with Jesus. A very low scoring game. Less than a point.
Again, if I paid money for this, I'd be asking for it back.
I'd say Rob was fairly sweating the last couple of days in case he got stat corrected out of a win as well.
Oh, it's the worst. I'd love to see it though. Just I'd know how salty Rob would be about a stat correction.
I said Ben Roethlisberger was solid in this week. He's got 3 interceptions.
Yeah, they killed it.
Missed all of that the weekend. I don't know what happened, but yeah, no, that's a that's a bad game. Jerick McKinnon minus points. Oh, Chase Claypool minus points. Smith didn't even make a point.
It was rough.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that is.
Jonnu Smith, 0.9 of a point.
Oh.
Jesus.
Well, I suppose they can't get any worse than this, so that's a positive. Next week's got to be better.
Yeah. AJ Brown really showed up for Rob again.
Joe Burrow scored 26 points more than Big Ben on the bench. Oh,
36 points.
Joe Burrow is having a sneaky good season in real life and a sneaky good fantasy season as well.
and he had Deontay Johnson on his bench as well. Like
So
that would.
I think he mentioned that like a day or two after the matchup. Like anytime he doesn't play Deontay Johnson, he blows up on his bench, and anytime he does play him, he always ends up going out injured or something weird like that.
Yeah. That would have put him like 110, 115 points if he had played those two.
Yeah, I was kind of glad he lost in the long term of thing because it keeps him level pegging. But obviously, yeah, rough. And again, a lot of corner animal, a lot of last chance saloon games. I think this week. For me, anyway, I think if I don't win this week, I'll be in trouble.
I was actually looking. There is a thing. Where is it? You can look at like if it was to go as it is now, who's going to the playoffs and who's going to the arena.
Mm.
So, the games this week are essentially going to decide the playoff spots. As it stands, it looks like myself, Rob, Mark, and yourself, Martin, are all in the toilet bowl.
Mm. I think these have to be adjusted manually though because it's weird or whatever.
Yeah, Jesus, I hope so.
All right. So
yeah, but not at will, Rich. You can't just put who you want in the playoff spots. You know.
But he's the commissioner. He's got the power
Feel
this
like
year.
I'm making the
Well,
playoffs
that's me.
this year. I've got commissioner powers.
Right. So who will we start with? You end against Johners. I'm looking good. You got a lot of players injured, buys or whatever.
Yeah, I have Jimmy Garoppolo in for Watson, and that's really unfortunate because Watson is playing really well. He's hitting 30, 40 points the last few weeks. But Garoppolo's got a good matchup against the Seahawks. Not too bad. Not too mad about that. It looks like Dalvin Cook's back, which is good. If Aaron Jones is out, we've got Williams in the spot. He could have another good week. But in this Higgins kid, no idea what he's like. Wild card this week, so it'll be interesting to see. Looks like Robinson's probably not gonna get out of the concussion protocol, so I have no idea what I'm going to do. I brought in Darnell Mooney, so we might just throw him in case he gets Robinson's targets. By the way, my wide receiving core this week are two unknowns. I can't believe I dropped Brandon Ayuk last week. Tried to get him back, but Mark got in there quicker. So I do have Mark Andrews back as well, but against Pittsburgh, it's a tough matchup.
If anyone can do it, it's Lamar Jackson.
They keep projecting Devin Singletary to get over 10 points, and he keeps getting 6. So I don't believe you, Sleeper. I don't believe you, but he's in the flex because I'm in trouble this week. Carlson's back, and the Browns defense, I was going to drop them. Did well last week, and I think I'm going to stick with them. We play a good, decent enough matchup this week against Derek Carr, I think. Is that who they're playing? Playing Vegas this week?
The Vegas, yeah.
Playing Vegas this week. So it's a decent matchup. So hopefully they'll do better than that. On the bench, I think I can play Laddie Murray. I've got Gibson and Nuke on a bye, who had 2 good weeks last week.
That is like just terrible. That's like pretty much the core of your team are just on bye. Gibson, Watson, and Hopkins.
Yeah, and like last week, 2 of my best players as well on a bye. But at least after this week, and to be honest, I might as well have them on a bye when I'm playing Johners because his team is very, very good and probably going to beat me anyway. So at least having them on a bye this week is kind of like resting them in a game you're going to lose.
Yeah. Picking up that win last week was huge for you.
It was huge, but it was also easy. I don't think I've been that relaxed on a Sunday night in a long, long time. So yeah. And with regard to honest teams, I mean Josh Allen, Montgomery, Kamara. Oh, I could really if Kamara Kamara got a knock, and I got to put Laddie Murray in there, that would be a wonderful story for everybody but Johners. So, but don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, Tyler Boyd doing well from George Kittle. I mean, he's got a wonderful team, and Butker getting his revenge game. Watch him have a career game. I'm going to call it now. Hot take: Butker career game against the Jets. Although although against the Jets he might only get some point afters. So you never know.
Fucking hell, if Antonio Brown pays off for him.
On the Jets.
Fucking, he's still Nick Chubb to come back as well off the IR.
Yeah, he's got Swift on the bench, who seems to be the main guy now. So
yeah.
So this week I reckon I'm going to get spanked, and all I'm hoping for is Dalvin Cook to not get injured, just to come back and look good. I'd like Higgins to do well, maybe see. I don't think Mooney's going to be on my team for too long, but I thought last week and this week we were going to be rough with buys, and got the win last week was, like you say, huge. But yeah, I'm going for John this week fairly comfortably.
Yeah, I think it's hard to look past honors. I think it might be close. I don't think it's going to be. I know you don't like the word blowout, but I don't think you're going to lose by like 30, 40 points. But yeah, I still have to go with Johners though.
I mean, I'll be happy to get 100 points this week. I think Singletary in there and 2 wide receivers who I have no idea what the fuck to expect from. So if I hit 100 points this week, I suppose I'd be happy enough. Garoppolo could surprise me. If Garoppolo gets up on 30 points, which I'm not really expecting, but if he gets up on 30 points, I'd be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, you got to imagine nearly every team Seattle has played this year turned into a shootout. So, like the chance of it there is for him to get at least maybe 25 plus points on it, which you would take. It's a pretty good seal.
I might just give him a little bit of a game of it. So,
what about you, Richie? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that it'll definitely be closer than the 2080 prediction, but I think Dale said it best. Johnner's team is just solid all around. I think I have to give it to him.
Yeah. So again, we're in lockstep. Boys can finally stop fucking bitching out because 3 of us are fucking taking shots at. Well, John specifically taking shots at us at the end of their podcast this week, calling us cowards. But it didn't take us to week 6 to start submitting our picks. And also, I clearly stated it's not my fault. You guys can't fucking listen to what I said. He's never disagreed with me saying I said at the end of whatever week 6 show or whatever it was. I said submit your picks. You could only pick 2 out of the 3 because only me and Richie were picking. So stop bitching, and y'all are gonna lose and become the second best podcast next season. And from that, we'll move on to Richie and Hannah.
I'm not confident this week. I am feeling much better about my team now. Bringing in Mike Davis, I've gotten some really good receivers. I'm feeling better about that. If I can get one more good running back, I'd feel a lot better than having Adrian Peterson standing there. And Mark Ingram. Like, Mark Ingram's got a high ceiling but a very low floor.
Mark Ingram definitely back this week, is he?
No. That's why I'm not confident. He didn't practice today either. So yeah, I need a running back. I'm open to offers if anyone wants to come at me for anything.
Well, like I said, if the that game ends up going down to COVID, I've got plenty of running backs, and I'd take that Kansas defense off you if you don't want it.
If you want the Kansas defense the week they're playing the Chiefs, or if you want the Kansas defense the week they're playing the Jets, gonna need a good running back.
Oh, I got 8 of them, so we'll just all see that it comes down to closer to Monday, but back to the matchup. Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry going up against the Bengals.
Don't like it. Don't like it at all. The only thing I can hope is that Ryan Tannehill decides to throw it a lot and not to Derrick Henry.
Doesn't matter. The week I played them, Derrick Henry got 40 points, over 40 points, and Tannehill still got over 30 points. Doesn't matter. if a good game, they will throw it, and Derrick Henry will break off mad fucking runs. That was an unbelievable play. Oh, so yeah, so I wouldn't be counting on Derrick Henry to have a good game to stop Ryan Tannehill having a good game. It can happen simultaneously.
Yeah. My only hope is that Ryan Tannehill has a really good game, but with Corey Davis, because if I do play him, then I get a little
throw him a bone or something.
Yeah, some sort of a bonus there to cancel out some of the points.
But other than that, like I think Mahomes is gonna have a great week. Yes, the Jets, but I think Ryan Tannehill is gonna have a good week. It'll be Mike Davis as RB1. I think he's gonna have a good week. Playing the Falcons, I think they've been letting in a lot of running back points. Hopefully, he'll have a good week. Derrick Henry's gonna have a good week. He always does. RB2 is gonna depend on I'm gonna max 8 points that I'm getting there.
Yeah, even if Matt
definitely
Ingram is fit, playing him against that Steelers defense is like trying to run on the book. It's just not happening.
Yeah, I would imagine Tyreek Hill is going to have a big game versus the Jets. Corey Davis hopefully will have a
like you were saying, Tannehill could cancel out, or Davis could cancel out points for Tannehill. Hill could cancel out points for Mahomes for you as well. So
that's the thing. Ridley, he had a rough week last week. He had so many touchdowns called back last week. Him and Moore, I think, is the only one where I was like, oh yeah, I think DJ Moore, if he has a good week, it'll probably be a bit better. But
playing in the same game tonight as well.
Yeah.
Is Landry injured?
I think he picked up some sort of knock during the game last week. Played through it.
But it doesn't say what it is, because if he's out, that makes that guy I picked up a little bit more valuable. Theoretically.
Yeah, going down through these matchups on Hannah's team, that's hate to say it, Rich, it could get ugly for you.
Oh, it's not that it could. It's gonna it's green. I was like, oh, she's gonna have a great week.
Yeah.
But losing to that team, there's no shame in that. I mean, she's already 5-2.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Taylor on the bye. Oh no, was Jonathan Taylor back this week?
Yeah, he's back this week. Yeah.
Oh, you can imagine. Yeah, well, that's against Detroit. Yeah, I'll be worried about him. Yeah, that's two solid running backs this week, Richie, you're going up against.
Yep.
Oh God. I'm gonna go for Hannah.
Fine. I've already accepted the loss. I'm just gonna try and do better next week.
Yeah, you gotta go on a run then from next week on. I was looking it up because, of course, I play you the first week. Christian McCaffrey's going to be back, so I'm not looking forward to that. But,
hopefully he's back. If not, Mike Davis is there. It's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, so anything else we want to pick? Obviously, in this game, it's hard to look past Hannah, so I'm gonna have to go Hannah, maybe quite comfortably.
Sorry, Richie.
No, I don't think there's any question about it. I don't even think we need to discuss it. I definitely think Hannah's going to win. And this isn't me being like, oh, Huber's not. Hannah's going to win.
We're going to get accused of it already now, Richie.
Oh, of course.
That's all this fucking league loves talking about. Guess we'll jump into me and Connor next. Very tight. Well, it's very tight predictions, but I still have to pick up a kicker yet. To be honest, I'm probably going to end up going back to the boy Joey Sly, so I'm probably going to end up picking him up before the game tonight.
Not if I get him now. Joey Sly. I'm all right. I got the best kicker in the world.
Yeah. Fucking 7-time kicker of the week, Danny Carlson. But yeah. I think it's going to be pretty tight between me and Connor this week. Looks like we both have a lot of favourable matchups. I don't think my starting lineup is going to look like as it is on Sunday as it looks now. I think I'll end up doing some tinkering.
Like Rogers against Minnesota, you got to be liking that for a Packers fan. Like, you're just going to enjoy the game anyway, and they're not good defensively.
I'm not overthinking the Boston Scott this week against the Dallas Cowboys, who are probably I'd
I
start
had
with
him
the
in my flex.
Jets.
I had him in my flex, Richie, when I lost to you in the final. Had him in my flex and took him out the very last minute, and he got something like 15 points and would have won me the game. Oh, Boston Scott, what could it have been?
Could have been no hesitation playing up against Dallas, who are probably the worst team right now. Worst defense probably outside the Jets right now.
The offense isn't spectacular either.
Yeah, at least they've got some good wide receivers, but outside of that, it's pretty awful. Yeah,
Yeah,
Robbie
but no one to throw
Robbie
his ball
Anderson's
to.
probably gonna have a good game tonight, and Todd Gurley. So I don't know if I wake up tomorrow morning and I'm down 50 points already. I'm not gonna, which could happen. I could be fucking in a deep hole already before Sunday even comes around. But I think I just have to back myself at this stage because I fucking need to win. But I'll win this week. I'm running out of weeks to catch up in the fucking playoffs. So,
What do you think about Stefan Diggs against New England?
see, that's a guy there that I'll probably end up swapping back in. I'm just kind of conscious of Belichick in his way. Bill Belichick defenses, their number one priority is shutting down offense, the opposition's best threat, and obviously Stefan Diggs is the Bills' biggest threat on offense. Stephon
Nice.
Gilmore there, who's a shutdown corner.
I paved the way for Singletary to have a breakout game of 8 points this week.
But
This is better than Zach.
Tyler Lockett's obviously definitely playing. Josh Jacobs definitely playing. Rodgers definitely playing. Boston Scott's definitely playing. Hawkinson's obviously definitely playing. The
You're not going to play
Buccaneers,
Gus Edwards against Pittsburgh, no?
no, definitely not. Not against that defense. Philip Lindsay passed his concussion protocol. He'd probably come in for Damian Harris. And then
I wouldn't be counting on him. I wouldn't be counting on him making it though. When is this game? Is it?
It's Sunday, but
Sunday.
that's only if he clears it.
Yeah.
Obviously, just so we're not talking about my team the whole time. Connor's team is pretty solid as well.
Fournette against the Giants. I think he could do more than his 11 points. Gurley against Carolina definitely could do 20 points.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Anderson. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared about tonight's matchup.
My God, he's got some serious matchups. Like that 116 could be really conservative for Connor this week. I think Connor got to give him props for making some serious surgery to this team because at one point it did look shit.
Mm-hmm.
And now it looks solid, Connor. It's good work.
Yeah, he's put in some good waivers, some nice pickups, and he's done some good stuff.
I said it way back at the start that I thought his team was the dark horse team. Obviously, Mickey Thomas still can come in there for James White before Sunday, which is another scary thought.
That will be
on Halloween weekend. A scary thought of Michael Thomas still to come into that team.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Connor this week. Even though you got some nice matchups, you got some injuries, and there's too many questions.
I think obviously I'm backing myself. Obviously, I need the win, so I'm picking me.
I just think I think Connor's team's gonna score way more than 116 points this week. Maybe not way more, but I think he's gonna score more of those predictions, more than his predictions are, should I say? So,
Richie, you get to decide and vote here.
I think this is going to be one of those close games, but really high scoring. I think this is going to be like whoever loses this is going to be like second highest score, and whoever wins is going to be the highest score.
Don't let it be me again. Then so.
I just like it's so evenly matched. I think Boston Scott's definitely going to do well this week.
He's definitely going to score more than those 6 points he's projected. I don't know why he's so low for that.
Yeah, so in predictions are crazy.
Yeah.
To show him his matchup green, and he's starting, and they're shit. Like surely you gotta be thinking at least 10 points, even if he has a bad game.
I'm gonna go Connor. I think he's just. I think
that's fair.
The 115 is just conservative. He has the potential, especially if Michael Thomas comes back this week. that'd change the game.
Yeah, I think I just gotta hope that as a Ronald Jones game on Monday night and Leonard Fournette doesn't get featured that much, and then that Drew Brees kind of has a quiet game as well, because I expect Curly Anderson to pop off, Robbie Woods against Miami, Gronk as well on Monday night. Not great for me, so we'll move on from that. And I've got Michael against Shauna next. So do you want to do that?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm ready to watch Michael get his ass whooped again and go 4-4.
Oh no. Aaron Jones is likely going to miss this week, which is not good for Carlos Hyde is also questionable.
So is Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be sneaky good.
I think he was injured last week and played through it anyway. So whatever's annoying Kareem Hunt, I think is manageable.
Yeah, it's similar with Carlos Hyde. I think if he does play, he'll do pretty well. Yeah, it's popped up there. Pete Carroll said Hyde's hamstring injury isn't major. So if Hyde does play, he'll have a big week because Chris Carson's out.
Yeah, Shauna needs those two running backs to start, because otherwise all she has is Naheem Hines on the bench. That's it. So, again, for a third or fourth week in a row? It's going for the double stack at wide receiver, which has got Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones in there, which is it's had mixed effects so far. So, to be honest, I really like Michael's teams this week. Julio, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the Jets, Kareem Hunt, Raiders, Derek Carr, Browns, Henry Ruggs, T. Higgins. I think he's got a good game this week, and it's not just because I need Shauna to lose. But I think Michael's going to win this week.
Defense playing the Ravens, though. Like, they're a great defense, but also there's like Lamar Jackson is just a different kind of human.
Yeah, but also Rams, who had Tangaloa's first game going up against Aaron Donald and Ramsey. Rams could have a day on defenses as well. So I think it's going to be close. I'm going Michael.
That to his first start.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Rams could have a good day. Yeah, I think I got to go Michael as well. Aaron Jones is not likely to play, so you're looking at Naeem Hines going in there. I think that really tips it towards Michael. Like he said, he's got a good team there, and good matchups. CEH against Jets, that could be one to watch. And there could be points for everybody in that one for Kansas. Henry Ruggs against Cleveland didn't have the best week last week.
I think he's a boomer bust kind of.
Yeah,
Tyreek kind of player. Like he's just really, really fast. So pretty much tell him run in a straight line. And if you get like separation, we're going to throw you the ball and you're going to score a bomb of a touchdown. He's not the kind of guy who's going to move the chains with like the 10, 15-yard passes.
Yeah.
And catches. Yeah. He's the kind of guy, he's like all or nothing with Henry Ruggs. I wouldn't surprise if he gets a big touchdown this week against the Browns.
Yeah, I could do it not doing that, and I could do it Waller not doing that as well. So, you know, he's got Rodrigo Blankenship back as well, which is obviously a key to why I beat him last week. If you had to have Blankenship there, who knows what would have happened? It might have been slightly less comfortable for me. So but I gotta, as much as I don't want, I gotta go from this week.
Yeah, you sticking with Shauna, Richie, or we convince you otherwise?
No, I was just talking shit to piss Michael off. I think this week's just got to come down to injuries. I think you're right. I think Kareem Hunt is likely to play, but so is Carlos Hyde. I think they'll kind of cancel each other out. But Aaron Jones being out, that's a massive hit to Shauna's team. If he does miss that game, then Naeem Hines coming in. He's playing Detroit, which isn't bad, but No, I'd have to go with Michael.
Seeing as I'm going to lose this week, I might trade her Cook just for the week and then trade it back next week. Collusion! Life collusion!
Me and Richie
Really not
got
going to do that.
me and Richie got burned for that hard. We tried doing that a couple of years ago and got absolutely lit up for it.
Yeah.
We didn't even realize that was that.
Yeah, I know.
We're too new to it.
We soon found out that wasn't allowed anyway.
That's definitely collusion.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right, can I roll for 1 second?
definition of it. Yeah, so that's I got Michael this week, unfortunately.
Can I run for 1 second?
Yeah, sure. Me and Will Dell will jump in and start talking about Mark and John. Sure. Yeah, we're gonna Cougars. Is next. You all right with that, though?
Yep.
I'm only noticing this now. A very spicy matchup. Quarterback, the two rookies. One Joe Burrow versus Justin Herbert. I like it.
Yeah. Joe Burrow against Tennessee. Likes to throw the ball. Tennessee don't like having the ball thrown, so you can see. Yeah, I can think it's going to be high yardage. And Justin Herbert, I don't really think it matters who he plays.
Yeah, he's just been slinging it.
Yeah, he's got a phenomenal arm. Points he put up for John last week, that was a solid pickup. I think the first week he picked him up in a good week. Second week it was like, oh, is he real? Is he not real? Yeah. He's fucking real. He is real.
Yeah, he is real. Obviously Mark is not going to be playing Mike Davis this week because that trade's going to go can be official before tonight's game. Yeah. So he's probably hoping that
Joe Mixon
plays. Because obviously Dalvin Cook's back, Madison's going to lose a lot of value.
Yeah, he's no use. So yeah, I think he's hoping Joe Mixon gets back. Apart from that 39 points game against Jacksonville, he's been probably the biggest letdown of the season so far. When he picked him up, I thought that's a real good pick, but just really hasn't sort of performed at all. But
is this sorry?
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon, yeah. Yeah, he's been kind of playing hurt the last couple of weeks, and if Joe Mixon does come in, he's obviously going to be looking for that Joe Burrow Mixon stack. I think the last time they came off, he won that week, so we'll be looking for that kind of good omen again.
Yeah, so he needs to get back on the field Friday, so I don't think he's trained this week. So if he has to put Madison in there, who did he get in the trade?
He got Roethlisberger he got Tom Brady. Got Tom Brady, didn't he? Yeah. Big Ben. No, it was Big Ben and Mike Davis for Tom Brady. Yeah, so actually, you'd figure that Tom Brady will come into that team instead of Joe Burrow, actually, which completely ruins my opening statement about this game about the two rookie QBs going up against each other.
He's got Brandon Ayuk in his team. I shouldn't have dropped Brandon Ayuk. Shouldn't have dropped Chase Claypool either. I've got to have some faith in myself.
Yeah. It's hard to trust the rookie wide receivers now, to be fair.
And with bye weeks, at some point you have to drop somebody, and I'm not dropping Dalvin Cook to pick up a replacement wide receiver for a week. So
I don't know. Looking at this matchup, it's not a lot stands out really. Kind of an ugly looking matchup. Zeke Elliott, I don't know. It's hard to look at him as a 15, 20 plus player point at 20 plus player,
first
20
game of the season
plus player anymore with Andy Dalton. Well, probably gonna be Ben DiNucci this weekend. So,
even with Dak there, you had 28 points in the first game. Then it's 17, 13, 15. Then against the Giants, he hit 25, and now it's 3.5 points and 7.1. So that's a marked fall off. But even before that, he wasn't really putting up numbers that you'd expect from Zeke. Like Zeke's going to be putting up over 20 points a week. So Zeke's has been a big disappointment this year as well. Mike Davis, on the other hand, although he's gone, James Conner's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
James Conner's been having a great season.
Yeah, I expect.
Especially considering he's broken as well. You can see him there in the last game, just sort of limping back into the huddle. Like, this man's just a phenom. He's clearly injured, but he's like, no, I'm not going off the field.
Mm,
I'm just a little bruised. It's still good. It's still good.
Just a little dislocated kneecap. Just pop it back in. I'm good to go.
yeah. If Joe Mixon doesn't play, I'd expect on to stick Gio Bernard on the flex. But I'll pick it now because it's getting close to game time, so I'm gonna just fucking fly through this. In it, I will go Mark. Not because I'm bitter against John. I think Tom Brady's gonna light up the Giants Monday night.
I'm gonna go
Kelsey's
Mark as well because I don't trust Mike Evans, even though it's against the Giants.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions. Crosby's questionable, Parker's questionable, Juju Schuster-Smith is, what are you going to get from Zeke this week? We don't know. Justin Herbert's going to pile up a lot of points. We know that. Connor, even against Baltimore, you'd be expecting him to get a touchdown and a fair amount of yards, but I wouldn't expect a huge game. Henderson looks real good. He's playing against Miami. If he brings in, cup against Miami, Travis Kelce, and I think, Will Lutz. I'm going to go for Mark against John this week. That's where I am with that.
There you go. Yeah, just went official there. Panthers did not activate Christian McCaffrey off injured reserve this week, so he won't be playing. Falcons brought in a left back, but that's.
All right, who are you picking on this, Richie?
I don't know. Mark has a lot of better games for who he's got. John's got a lot of really tough games. And like you said, someone like Zeke is now pretty unpredictable. So, I think Mark's got it this week. At
least you got two guys who went with John as well, or with Mark as well. So I don't say her about John this week against John this week. Okay. We'll quickly move on. Last but not least, Rob against Barry.
Baker Mayfield's getting a start.
Yeah. I'm surprised with that, actually. Kyler's on bye this week, so that makes sense.
So I hope he hits my new boy with a couple of nice wee throws. Le'Veon Bell against the Jets. This could be the game where he makes his mark.
Big time revenge game.
Yeah. It's looking like a lot of good players here.
I think a lot of it's going to come down to if Lamar Jackson had a good game or has a terrible game against Pittsburgh. I think it's going to be one or the other.
Yeah, like what's Jerick McKinnon gonna do? He had a great start to the season and then just fell off the face of the map.
Yeah. Don't know about Jared McKinnon.
Like, is he gonna get 15 points? Is he gonna get minus points? Who knows?
Yeah, and the son of a bitch is Carson Wentz on his bench. Fuck you, Rob. I wanted Carson Wentz. We'll see how it goes. I'll be keeping an eye out and see if Garoppolo or Wentz do better this week. I might be changing my tune next week and saying, thanks, Rob.
Yeah,
Lamar Jackson had his bye week. You don't need Carson Wentz.
I know. I think if I was Rob, I can definitely consider playing Wentz against Dallas, who are the worst defense against Lamar Jackson against Pittsburgh. We're probably the best defense in the league.
I suppose it kind of makes sense when you put it that way.
Maybe he's playing a little mind games as by I'd fully
at my expense.
I fully expect Carson Wentz to be playing. I'll be a bit surprised if he doesn't.
Devontae Adams against Minnesota. Cannot wait to see that game. I'm really looking forward to that game. I think it's going to be.
Last time Devontae Adams played against the Vikings, he torched them for 30 points as well. He had like 15 catches, 2 touchdowns or something mad like that week 1 against the Vikings.
And he's nice and fresh going into this one as well.
Yeah, I expect a big bounce back game from DK Metcalf after him being so quiet last week.
Yeah, he got completely marked out of it last week.
Yeah, revenge game as well for Melly G against the Chargers.
Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones is starting to look real.
We all mocked him for that second round pick. But
Mm.
he's been very good for him this year.
And with Melvin Gordon back and with Lindsay out, you got to expect a better game from Gordon this week.
Like I said, he'll be extra motivated this week going up against his old team.
It's tight to call. I think, yeah, like you said, it comes down to if he plays Wentz, he could be talking nearly 40 points. Jackson against Pittsburgh, I don't think he's going to hit that. Oh, this is a tough one to call.
Wait, was Melvin Gordon Chargers? Was he not the Rams?
No, he was Chargers.
Who am I thinking?
Gurley.
I'm thinking Todd Gurley. Oh, I did a racism. Put that out.
You have to start going to marches now, Richie.
Sorry, tiki torches and shit.
I'll pick it now if you're still indecisive. I'm going Barry.
You and Barry.
Yeah. Rob needs a big week from the Brown boys.
He does.
Yeah.
And
AJ Brown didn't practice again, so it's not looking very likely. I hope he doesn't play, because then Corey Davis will do better.
Yeah.
I think Baz, like, just going by record alone and like week to week what they've been doing, I think Baz got it.
Baker Mayfield last week had probably the best game of his career. And Odell Beckham went out on the first target. I'm thinking that it just seemed like there was an awful lot of pressure to get the ball to Odell Beckham, and he was constantly looking at him, and it was costing him. So with Beckham not there, they're not really going to know who the fuck he's going to be throwing the ball to. Might even work out better for Mayfield from here on in. So, and it's a good matchup. I think both, if he plays Wentz against Mayfield, they're going to have they're both going to have big points this week, but I can't see Jerick McKinnon doing a lot, and I'm going to go for Baz, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it'll be closer if he plays Wentz.
Yeah, I think so too. So I think that's it then. For the week in the books.
Got that all locked up.
Yeah. We'll see. This week is a big week. It's going to decide a lot of things. But let's not dilly-dally any further. The Dundalk Arsenal game has kicked off, so I'm very obviously
that's what I'm looking at over here now.
Very conflicted in this match, obviously, because Dundalk were my team during college, and obviously Arsenal has been my team.
Oh, hell of a hit from Dundalk there.
Yeah.
Keeper had to save it.
But yeah, should we wrap it up with that then, Phil?
Yeah, no worries. I'll let you go. Go to football.
Grazie, Pauline.
See you all later.
Bye bye.